Garden watering in a July heat wave sounds simple. I stood in my Belfast back garden for a full 20 minutes with the hose pipe. About half of that water did nothing for my plants at all. I am Mickle. I drive buses for a living, and I keep a garden on a bus driver's timetable. This channel is the science of watering, from the hose pipe to the water butt, one question at a time. Today, where does your water actually go? Here is the thing that stopped me in my tracks. Water-wise, the people who study how we use water in this country reckon that around half of all the water we use outdoors is wasted, not lost to some leak underground. Wasted, mostly by watering more than the plants can ever use. Not because gardeners are careless, because most of us were never told where the water actually goes. Think about that for a second. Half. If half the passengers on my bus vanished before the last stop, I would want to know exactly which stop they left at. Water is no different. Every liter you pour is either doing a job for a plant or slipping away and taking your time and money with it. And it does cost money. If you are on a water meter, that wasted half is landing on your bill every month. If you are paying with your evenings instead, it is landing on your time. So today we are going to do something simple. We are going to follow 1 single liter of water from the moment it leaves the can and see exactly where it goes. Right? Picture 1 liter of water in your watering can. It has 5 possible destinations, and only one of them is the one you actually wanted. I am going to be the ticket inspector on this route and check where every drop tries to get off. Exit 1 is the leaves. Some of your water lands on foliage and simply sits there, then dries off in the sun without ever reaching the soil. Exit 2 is the surface. Water that lands on bare, warm soil evaporates straight back into the air before it can soak in. Exit 3 is runoff. Pour too fast, or onto dry, crusted ground, and the water runs sideways off the surface instead of going down. Exit 4 is deep drainage. Water that sinks past the roots, especially in sandy soil, carries on down and out of reach, taking nutrients with it. And exit 5, the only one that counts, is the root zone, that thin layer of soil where the roots actually live. Get water to that layer and the plant thrives. Miss it, and everything else was just decoration. 4 of those 5 exits are losses. Keep that map in your head, because for the rest of this episode we are going to shut them one by one. Let us start with the biggest thief on a hot day, evaporation. This is water leaving the soil and the leaves as vapor, going straight up into the air. 4 things decide how fast it happens: heat, sunshine, wind, and dry air. On a still, gray morning, evaporation is slow and gentle. On a hot, breezy afternoon, it is like leaving the immersion heater on with the lid off. The same liter of water disappears far quicker. You can almost watch it go. Splash it on warm slabs at noon and it is gone before you have coiled the hose. Now, the science has a proper name for all of this. It is called evapotranspiration. That is evaporation from the soil, plus transpiration, which is the water plants breathe out through their leaves. Together they set how much water your garden actually needs on any given day. It is such a big idea that it gets its own episode later in this series, so I will leave the deep end for then. But here is the part you can use today. Water at the wrong time and the heat takes its cut before the plant gets a look in. Water in the cool of the early morning and far more of it soaks in and stays put. Same liter, different hour, completely different result. Hold that thought about mornings. We will come back to it. Evaporation steals from the top. The next 2 thieves work sideways and downwards. First, runoff. When soil is dry for a long time, the surface can set hard, almost like a crust. Pour water on quickly and it does not soak in. It runs off sideways, down the path, into the drain, gone. You have watered the patio. I have done it myself in a hurry before a shift, and felt clever for about 10 seconds. The fix is slower than you think and cheaper. Give the ground a little water, let it soften, then come back and give it the rest. 2 2 gentle passes beat 1 heavy blast every time. This one change, slowing down, saves more water than any gadget I own. The last thief is deep drainage. This is water sinking straight past the roots and carrying on down, out of reach. It matters most in light, sandy soils that drain very fast. Heavy clay holds onto water much longer, which is a whole story about British soil for another day. So the lesson from these two is simple. Fast watering mostly feeds the drain in the deep subsoil. Slow, patient watering gives the root zone time to take a proper drink. Neither of them is the plant's fault. It is almost always how fast we pour. Now I owe transpiration an apology, because I called it a thief, and it is not really. When a plant breathes water out through its leaves, that is not waste. That is the plant using water to pull nutrients up from the roots and to keep itself cool. The same way sweating cools you down. That water did a job on the way out. It is the only exit on our list that the plant chose on purpose. So here is a myth worth killing. People think the water they pour is the water the plant drinks. It is not. The plant only ever drinks from the root zone, that thin band of moist soil around the roots. Everything that never reaches that band was never really watering the plant at all. And that raises the obvious question. If the root zone is the only place that counts, how do you water the soil down there instead of the plant up here? How do you even know when it is dry? That is exactly where we are headed next time. For now, just remember the target. Not the leaves, not the surface. The root zone. If all of this feels familiar, you are in good company. Go onto the gardening forums during a hot spell and it is wall-to-wall worry. One post on the UK gardening subreddit summed it up perfectly. I water the hydrangeas every single day in this heat and they still flop by lunchtime. What am I doing wrong? Here is the quiet truth in that post. On a hot afternoon, big soft plants like hydrangeas often wilt to protect themselves, even when the soil is damp. That is a heat response, not always thirst. Watering more can actually do harm. The honest first step is to feel the soil before you reach for the can. We will dig properly into that next episode. And the cost is real too. Another gardener in the Midlands described the same thing. Watering daily from the hose on a meter. And this was just after their supplier had put prices up by 100%. That is money going straight down the path with the runoff. Meanwhile, I am up here in Belfast, where it has rained nearly every day since the new year. My water butt has not been below the top mark since autumn. Same country, 2 different planets. That is the thing about watering in Britain. The rules change the moment you cross a county line. So the cheapest fix of all is timing. Water in that cool morning window and you lose far less to evaporation before the plant even wakes up. Here is my problem though. That morning window is exactly when I am signing on at the depot. So this is the kit I run on my own tap. The Johgee 4-zone timer. A small hub sits indoors by the router and talks by radio through my brick wall to the unit on the outside tap. 4 beds, 4 schedules, every morning at 6. If you only keep 2 or 3 pots, a 9-pound mechanical timer does the same job. This one just solves distance and timing. Right, let us close those exits, and none of this needs a gadget. 4 free habits. 1. Mulch. A layer of compost or bark, about 5 centimeters deep, spread over the soil. It is a lid on the biggest thief of all. It stops the sun and wind stripping moisture straight off the surface, and it is the cheapest thing you can do this weekend. 2. Slow down. 2 gentle passes instead of 1 heavy blast, so the water soaks in rather than running off. Patience beats pressure. 3. Water the soil, not the plant. Aim the can at the base, at the root zone, and keep it off the leaves. More of it goes where it counts, and the plant stays healthier for it. 4. Pick your moment. Early morning while it is still cool, so the heat cannot take its cut before the plant has had a drink. None of that is clever. Mulch, patience, aim low, go early. It is a bit boring, honestly. But boring is what good watering actually looks like. Do those 4 things and you shut most of the leaks for nothing. That is a great deal further on the same liter of water.